Hello and welcome to the Restricted Area Podcast, where we break down the week in NBA and WNBA action. As a reminder, you can hear this podcast the day before it can be seen on YouTube by checking out Spotify, Amazon, or Apple Podcasts. I am your host, Alex Perez, joined by producer Colton Smith. How we doing?
Doing good. I actually will have 2 days off. No work. I could have picked up a
Ooh.
shift tomorrow. And I really sat and thought about it because it was one of those 8-hour do nothing shifts, but
Mm.
money never hurt anybody. But I decided I have a long day ahead of me on Saturday at work, so I'm going to go ahead and just take these 2 days off and enjoy them. I just got home from the gym, so I will be eating. I apologize to the fans that are hungry. I'm going to make them even more hungry. But all in all, I'm pumped. I was telling you before the show, I'm really pumped for some playoff basketball. We just wrapped up March Madness. So honestly, not the perfect national championship, but I was entertained from start to finish. There was always that chance of it being an all-time classic. But all in all, a solid national championship and not as solid women's national championship.
No, it was not. It was not. Less some things to be desired, that's for sure.
Shout out UCLA for getting the dub over there. And yeah, just pumped. Great time to be a basketball fan right about now. And hey, Red Legs looking good in baseball as well.
Yeah, UConn didn't really live up to the expectations like we thought, and they did more on the men's side, honestly. And if you told me that at the beginning of the year, I would have been shocked. But shout out Dan Hurley. He's pretty good at what he does, I suppose. And it was a very interesting national championship. I did not expect it to be that close, but you got Easter and then national championship back-to-back days. That's peak. I went to see the Mario movie this weekend, by the way. Don't know if you've seen it. Pretty
I
good
saw it.
stuff. Pretty good
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, that's been my week. Nothing too exciting. Just sticking to that work grind. But I have been watching some exciting basketball, so we'll go ahead and get into that. Colton, what's really caught your eye this week?
So right off the bat, let's take a look at the playoff probabilities according to Basketball Reference. The Detroit Pistons have the number one seed locked up, 100% chance. The Celtics pretty well have the second seed locked up. There's a 0.5% chance that the Knicks could
Mm-hmm.
take it. Let's go ahead and call that one wraps. And then the Knicks have an 85% chance of maintaining the 3 seed. There's still a 13% opening for Cleveland to sneak up in there. Cleveland is in that 4 seed, and they only can move up from here, so they're pretty well locked in there. And then the Atlanta Hawks. It's been my team that I've been shouting out here week in and week out. Find themselves a game ahead of the Raptors in the 5 seed, an 81% chance to get that 5 seed, and then a 13% chance to fall to the 6th, 2, and then 1 to fall to the 7 and 8 seed. And then the other notable thing about that is the Hawks play the Cavs tonight, and I think they're actually playing right now. And they play the Cavs on their last game. So the last 2 games are against the Cavs. There's a pretty more likely than not they'll end up playing the Cavs in the 4 or 5 game. Series. And so in theory, they could play 9 straight games against each other. So I don't really know who that favors. I would lean that favors the Cavs because they have the playoff experience. So they kind of know how to
Sure.
figure out teams. Well, and never figured out the Pacers. But they should have a better idea of how to figure out teams. So and the Hawks have definitely been beneficial, but they did just beat the Celtics. They have been beneficial of a easier schedule to wrap up the season. But to be fair, they do have a win over the Celtics, and I think they beat the Pistons, or at least they almost beat the Pistons. So it's not like they aren't playing well against
Right.
other teams. Anyways, going back down to this list, I just wanted to sit on that because I think that 4 or 5 matchup is going to be a really good one if it stays. Even if it is the Knicks, I think it still could be good. At the 6th seed, you got the Raptors with a 14% chance of sneaking up basically 15% chance of sneaking up into that 5 seed. Then a 53% chance of staying in the 6th seed, and a 16% chance to fall to the 7th, 7% chance to fall to the 8th. They allegedly, to get in the play-in, would be about a 3, or sorry, they're already in the play-in if they were to fall to the 7th seed. But to fall down to the 9th seed is as far as they can go, and they really only have a 0.3% chance at that, according to Basketball Reference. So yell at them if they fall. The Sixers, Paul George looking nice. It's not playoff time yet, but
Mm-hmm.
not looking too bad. He must
Playoff
have
P.
must did some rehab or something. I don't know what happened there. But they could really go into many of places. Their highest chance is to stay here in the 7th seed, which is a 42% chance. They could rise as high as the 5th seed, a 1.8 chance at that. Rise to the 6th seed, a solid 27% chance. The 7th seed, a 24% chance. Or, well, I mentioned that. And then the 16 seed. Okay, I'm reading this a little bit wrong. That's to make it to the 8th seed in, and then with the play in, okay, it's a 17% chance to go into the 8th seed. So I was misreading that a little bit. 7% chance for the 9 seed, and then a 10% chance or 3% chance for the 10 seed. I won't bore you with all the percentages on the Magic. It's pretty even across the board. The most likely place they have is to actually rise to the 7th seed with a 27% chance. I think that's partially because they would play the Sixers in that. They are most likely, but they could also fall to that 9 seed with a 36% chance of doing that. So I guess I don't really see them sticking in that 8 seed. And the Hornets and Heat rounded out there. And then let's take a look down at the West. It's a little more chalky here. The Thunder
Yeah.
have a 99.1% chance at the 1 seed. Still a 1% chance out there for the Spurs, who have been just as good over these past couple of months. Nuggets, Lakers, and Rockets are the real big, could shake things up here. The Nuggets have a 50% chance of retaining the 3 seed, a 34% chance of falling to the 4th, and a 15 to fall to the 5. The Lakers, pretty much 33 across the board, actually, exactly. They could go either up to the 3rd or stick at the 4th or fall to the 5th. And then the Rockets have a 14% chance of getting all the way up to the 3 seed, a 33% chance to get to the 4 seed, a 51% chance to stick at the 5, and just a 0.3 chance to fall to the 6 seed. Which is the Timberwolves right now, which is a shame. They kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
They're pretty well locked in. And again, a 0.3 chance of getting the 5 seed. That's really all they got. And then the Clippers, they have somehow found their way to potentially get that 7 seed, just a 37% chance at getting that. But they have it as a higher chance, or sorry, a 71% chance to get that, and then a 22% chance of getting the 8 seed. So, or sorry, the 7 seed. So, how about them Clippers? And they have a really good chance of just in a game, just beating the Suns and getting that 7 seed going up against the
For sure.
Spurs. So, again, I just really wonder what would happen if they played like this the whole time. The Blazers and Warriors are pretty well locked in to their positions. Actually, the Warriors are 100% locked in. The Trailblazers could theoretically make it to the 8 seed, but we don't got to talk about that. So, that is what the NBA playoff picture is looking like right now. But let's go ahead and talk about some WNBA news. The Sky. Oh, I can't wait to see what you have to
Oof.
say about the Sky. Have traded two-time WNBA All-Star, what, in 2 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been
Yep.
2 seasons. To the Atlanta Dream for a first-round draft pick in 2027 and 2028. Announced on Monday. Alex, I will let you have the floor because I know I agree with everything you have to say.
Yeah, just another genius move by Chicago. I love everything that they have ever done. Let's first bring up the good news. Atlanta, congratulations. You are the Avengers now. A starting lineup of Jordan Canada, Alicia Gray, uh, Ryan Howard, Angel Reese, and Brittany Griner. I think it's generous just to say it might be the best starting lineup in all the NBA. I'm pretty sure it is. My bone to pick, as Colton has alluded to, is with the Chicago Sky because what's the point? What's the idea here? Who do you have after this trade? You all traded for Angel Reese in when she was drafted with the Minnesota Lynx, and now that pick you traded away is the second pick in this year's draft, which I don't know could get Lauren Betts, the person who just willed their team to a national championship, and might be better, but neither here nor there. Great post players, both of them. You decided neither one was really your route. Genius. Um, but let me take you through a little historical contents of the Chicago Sky. They won the title in 2021, and since, because I guess one was good enough, They have traded players such as Kennedy Carter, Marina Mabry, Kalia Copper, Alana Smith, and Courtney Williams. Um, don't know if you were familiar with basketball, but that's building a team. If they had that team together right now, they would be heavy favorites for a championship. So it just blows my mind that Chicago continues just to be the worst run organization I feel like in all of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Blows my mind.
Absolutely. You said it there. And as far as Angel Reese's point of view, I think obviously she's actually going to be at a winning organization. So I'm very curious. There's a lot of we've seen a lot of players really across sports where they get put on a team. Like Cam Ward at the Titans is a great example. Like that is a winning player on a losing team, and that's exactly
Mm-hmm.
what Angel Reese has been over these past couple of years. So seeing her, it'll be very interesting to see her fit in with winning players that have won championships, have competed for championships, and I think that'll do a lot for her game. And I'm really excited to see that aspect of it. But to Sky, I mean, just sell the team at this point. Like,
Yeah, they have no idea what they're doing.
should have just sold the deed to the team to Atlanta while you're at it. Like,
I
I don't even
mean,
know.
I'm happy because Angel Reese has way too many haters for all the wrong reasons, and I think this
Hmm.
will solidify that she is one of the top players in the league, and then she'll be again on one of the top teams in the league now.
Hmm.
So it'll prove she can win, and she impacts winning in a major way.
Absolutely. But swinging back to the, if you have nothing else to say on this,
That's all good. I
the
could talk about the
NBA,
Chicago Sky forever, but yeah.
I have to bring up a quote from Doc Rivers, who I don't think Doc Rivers obviously was the one. I don't know where exactly the source came from. I know Shams posted it. It was something. There was like a big old reveal of some of the behind the scenes stuff going on with Doc Rivers and the Bucks, which is yeah, pretty well the there's a lot of stuff going on with the Bucks right now. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes I saw, and I won't, I'll tease this one, but I saw that actually he basically called out all the players, and Kyle Kuzma, he specifically called out Ryan Rollins as one of them, and I can't think of maybe Kevin Porter Jr. And then Kyle Kuzma was the leader that like defended him. Like you just can't be talking to him like that. Like, I don't know what was said. I don't know, but here's the actual quote that I want to get into, and the quote was, look at my resume. Google my resume. Maybe it was even the specific quote. And so I did. Doc Rivers prevented the Magic from building a super team. They could add T Mac and Tim Duncan. Carried to a title by the Boston Big Three. In that, they had to beat a pretty, I'm sure Alex can attest, injured Lakers team
Yep.
in the finals, and their only one that really was that impressive was a 4-2 series win over the Pistons. They survived the rest of their series. Uh, Never returned. They returned to the finals, never won a finals after that. With Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, pretty solid big three there. Don't even mention Rajon Rondo, and just a slew of really great basketball players that were on that team. Speaking of great basketball players, the Clippers had a lot of those. Plenty of those.
Sure did.
Not a single conference finals appearance with them. The Sixers. Was he the coach when they were MVP, or was that Nick Nurse? That might have been Nick Nurse when Embiid got MVP.
I think that was Nick Nurse, but yeah.
Regardless, had an MVP caliber player in Joel Embiid, along
Hmm.
with a slew of different all stars throughout that time. Not a single conference finals appearance, including with the Sixers blowing a 3-1, maybe 3-2 lead to the Atlanta Hawks, led by Trae Young, a team that would never make the second round since then, if my memory serves. Truly impressive. He has the most blown 3-1 series leads ever. Like, remember
Yeah, he
when
does.
the Thunder did it, and then the Golden State Warriors did it back to back. We're like, damn, this never happens. Doc Rivers made it a staple, made it normal to blow a 3-1 lead. He was a trailblazer. Maybe that's what he meant when he said, "Look at his resume."
He's trending, yeah.
He's a trailblazer in the NBA world, and not even to mention, for whatever reason, the Bucks thought to hire him, ruined the Bucks era of Giannis. It wasted what 2 or 3 years at this point. Um, Probably the most fraudulent career ever. Doc Rivers asking the players to look at his resume, Google his resume, is like me walking up to a guy in a Lamborghini and saying, "Let's go band for band," knowing damn well I got $20 in my bank account, $20 I obtained from my mom.
Yeah, it's like me saying I'm going to check my resume. Like it is not a good idea. I've said this from the beginning. If you hire Doc Rivers, and especially if you couple him with Darvin Ham, you are not serious about winning. Doc Rivers has never been serious about winning. Giannis used to be a happy person, and I have never heard that man ask for more trades than he has in the couple of years that Doc Rivers has been at the helm. And not to mention that he took over a job that really didn't need to be taken over. They were 30-13 before Doc Rivers decided to put his great fingerprints on this team and continues just to bring organizations down. I'm glad the Lakers never made that mistake. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Doc Rivers, and he should. He kind of has the pedigree, right? He was a former player. He should have a resume, leading up to when he came to the Magic. He worked his way up into the Magic head coaching, and just he just has that ring, and that's what's got him to this point. Shout out KG. Anything's possible.
One hit wonder, but sometimes that's all it takes. Uh, but anyways, the one thing that I wanted to get to, I was going to get to the Angel Reese thing, so thank you for bringing that up because it
Of
was
course.
pretty much the biggest news in basketball this week. But another thing I'm going to try to get through quickly, but I'm very sad about it, so it may take me some time. Let's start with the good news. The Lakers in the month of March were 15-2. Luca Luca became the third youngest to reach 15,000 points, and he was the third to since the merger to score 600 points in a month. And now the bad news is the season's over. Uh, Luca is hurt with a hamstring injury, and Austin Rivers is out for the same time frame, which is a month, with an oblique injury. So obviously, that means they're probably going to miss the first round of the playoffs, which means a 41-year-old LeBron James is tasked with saving this team once again. In his first game without him, he did almost drop a 30-point triple double, but of course he did. Um, can't keep doing this. And so I really just wanted to pose the question to you: is this like the unluckiest a superstar stretch has ever been? Because he has just been wasted in his time in LA. And before you answer, let me run you through some of the seasons, if you don't mind. His first year with LA, 8 games below 500. The second year gets AD, wins the most discredited title probably in all of history, and pandemic, and his good friend Kobe Bryant passes away. The third year, Palinka reinvents the wheel, trades away a championship team for Russell Westbrook. Cool. Uh, 21-22, 33 and 49. Palinka goes different. They go unk ball with Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, Dwight Howard, and DeAndre Jordan. 2022, 2023, 43 and 39. It's getting better because of players like Pat Beverly, Thomas Bryant,
My Bev.
Mo Bamba, Malik Beasley. These are the great pieces that Rob Pelinka was putting around LeBron James. Thank God he was Kobe Bryant's best friend. Anyways, 23, 24, 47 and 35, again getting better. Torian Prince, Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, and Dinwiddie. Those were the highlights of the season. Cool. Last season, we're back. 50 and 32. Get JJ Redick, who has been sensational, and still Luca. Still don't know how he pulled off that magic. Neither here nor there. Still losing the first round. Cool. And another 50 win season this season, third in the West. And now your top two scorers are out. So now you have the pieces around them, but this is 8 seasons in. And to add to the unluck, let's talk about the injuries. LeBron James missed 71 games in his first 15 seasons, and now he's missed over 130 in his 8 seasons with LA. Have you heard of a more unlucky run for a superstar than this 8 year stretch that LeBron's been on?
No, I really. There's been some unlucky like stretches in careers, and sometimes they never seem to recover. But it's like every year, LeBron's back and he's ready, to lead this team. Or this year maybe not as much lead, but now he has to lead.
Yeah.
Uh, he's back, ready to do it again, and then it just happens again and again. I can't really argue against that. It seems kind of similar to the adversity that Kobe had, except Kobe was in his prime,
Mm-hmm.
where the teams were Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom,
Smush
Andrew
Parker.
Andrew Smush Parker. Don't get me started. Hoop Grid's legend,
What
Smush
a go.
Parker.
What a go.
Was it not Sterling Brown? There was a Brown. Um,
Shannon Brown.
Shannon Brown,
Hey,
Kwame Brown. I
dunk
think maybe
champion
made an
Shannon Brown.
appearance at some
Kwame
point.
Brown and Smush Parker were on the same team. So, like, wow. So
Yeah,
Kobe did have to put up with a lot. You're right.
yeah. So I mean, I will say Kobe may have. I don't know if Malik Beasley would have been the best fit, but good lord, he would have been like the fifth best player on some of those teams.
That's
So,
fair. That's
uh,
fair.
yeah, all in all, it is just a really unlucky stretch, and I think they're just happy that currently they'd be facing the Rockets and not the Nuggets, because I think even this team without, it'll be tough, but I think even without those two, they could beat the Rockets. Just that's more of a testament to the Rockets and how like wishy-washy that team can
Mm-hmm.
be at times. And hey, don't sleep on Luke Kennard. That boy dropped a triple-double on Easter Sunday, right?
Yeah, that
I
boy is
mean,
nasty. I will never talk bad about him. He got Lakers legend Gabe Vincent out of there, so I will always sing the praises of
when he
Luke Kennard.
took one out for y'all, and he's
Yeah,
out here dropping triple. Luke Kennard triple double is not on my lifetime bingo card.
took one for the team. So shout out Luke. But yeah, I was really excited about these playoffs, and now I'm not so excited. It's going to be cool to see LeBron try to drop 40 in every game, but losing in the first round again is going to sting if that's what it comes down to. Again, I think the Rockets are going to be who it's going to be, but maybe not. Maybe some on ball. It's just KD and LeBron going 1-on-1, and we get a good series, and the Lakers come out on top. But not keeping my hopes up like I haven't been all season because I knew something like this was just going to happen. It's just been the stretch.
Yeah, sure. I didn't hear any hope in your voice just a week or two ago.
Just been the stretch. These 8 years. It's been a long 8 years. But anyways, I digress. It's time to go to our NBA Power Rankings, where we rank our top 5 teams after another great week in NBA action. Colton, who you got?
Yeah, I still have. I mean, I really probably. Or wait, well, I'm not starting from the top. Let me go to the bottom. I'm tripping. At the bottom, at number 5, I have the Denver Nuggets, who are currently on an 8-game winning streak, scoring more than 121 points per 100 possessions in all 8 of those games, including an overtime win over the Spurs. And then at number 4, I have the Boston Celtics. They did drop a game to Atlanta last Monday, but they have still won 10 of their last 12 games, looking good going into the playoffs. Jason Tatum is getting his efficiency up, and in his last 4 games, he's averaged 25, 11, and 8.
Mm,
Somebody's ramping up for a
mm,
postseason run, if you
okay.
ask me. It's pretty good stuff there. At number 3, I have the Detroit Pistons. They have sealed the deal on the number 1 seed, perhaps just coasting, but they've won 8 of their last 10 without Cade Cunningham being in the lineup. So I still got to give credit where credit is due there. And then number 2, I pretty much tease it because for some reason I went to the top of the lineup, but I'm keeping OKC at number 2. Is it
Fair enough.
generational hatred for what they did to my Pacers last year? Shut up, Logan. But the Spurs, regardless, went 26-1 with Victor Wembanyama in uniform from February 1st to April 1st, and their only loss is to a Denver Nuggets team that's been shooting out of their mind recently. So I'm not going to take that away from them. But I mean, the Thunder are on a pretty long winning streak too. So yes, it's just my generational hatred. Go fight me. I'll see you outside, Logan.
I respect that so much. I think really we just have these teams flip flopped around a little bit. Five, I have Boston, second in the East, winners of the last four, including an impressive win over Charlotte last night. Uh, Something that jumped out at me when I've been checking these stats every week: Boston is not top five in any statistical category, which blows my mind because how do they keep doing this? But
Right.
again, they're supposed to be bad. They just keep winning. Number four is Denver. I knew that old head Jokic would just come out and remind him that the old dogs are still around, and he hit a pretty iconic shot over Wemby in that one. But
Mm-hmm.
third in the West, first in points per game and fifth in assists. So they're doing what they do best. They're electric on the offensive end, and it really doesn't matter on the defensive end if they are putting up performances like they have recently on that end. Third, I have the Pistons. First in the East, fifth in field goal percentage, winners of three of the last four. Not much needs to be said. They finally built a team around Cade, and they're holding up even without Cade. So shout out to them for building that team. And then the Spurs, I actually have in second. Second in the West, third in points per game. I've only lost three times since March 1st. I guess that's pretty impressive. Yeah. OKC is first in the West, first on these standings, first in the league, whatever. One loss since March 1st. They are first in points per game and third in steals per game. So they're pretty locked down on both sides of the basketball. Who would have thought? And now they're completely healthy, and they just get to coast to the playoffs, which I'm sure every nobody expected that. Nobody expected they would have this lead. Yeah. Anyways, okay. See, they're still having a good season. Good for them. Uh,
Yep.
Now it's time for our NBA Pick'em, where we pick our winners of the biggest games in the association this week. Some ones that may have some big playoff implications I got on the list this week. First one is Thursday, 7:30 on Prime Video. It's Celtics at the Knicks. Who you got?
Who do I got? That is a great question, Alex. The Knicks haven't been bad per se, but they did lose three straight games against good teams on the road recently. So I'm going to go with the Celtics. I just think the Celtics are in playoff mode. The Knicks, not quite there. Not quite there. They're not bad, but they're not looking. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I really should pick the Celtics just based on the reasons I put them in my power rankings, but I'm going with the Knicks. They have a little bit more to fight for. As you said, the Celtics are pretty fair in their, pretty locked into their position in the playoffs, and the Knicks could fall down in that four seed, and I don't think they want that. So I think they will be fighting to stay in that three seed, and so I got the Knicks in this one. And the post presence for the Knicks is a little better than Boston, so I trust that a little bit more as well. So give me the Knicks in that one, and then Friday at 7 p.m. also on Prime Video. Shout out Amazon for having great games this week. The Cavs and the Hawks. Who you
Ooh.
got?
Yeah, the Hawks have been my team. I've been glazing a lot. I'm not done glazing them yet. But I kind of feel like the Cavs are. Actually, I'll tell you how I'm going to answer this. Let's take a look at how the Cavs and Hawks are doing right now.
Fair enough.
And whoever's up, I'm going with the opposite. Uh, let's see. Currently, the Hawks are up 67-60 at half. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Hawks win tonight, and the Cavs split the series, and that'll make it to where we get them playing in a best of seven series in the 4 or 5 seed. So give me the Cavs on this one.
I love that. I really hope that happens. Like we've been saying, potential first round matchup. Something I forgot to allude to earlier. If this ends up going nine straight games, maybe the Cavs figure out how to actually win in the playoffs. That'll be cool. But I believe in this Hawks team much like you do. I believe in defense, winning when it matters most, especially the playoffs, but especially at the end of the season when you're trying to solidify your spot in the playoffs as well. So I got the Hawks in this one, and a game that I will definitely be having my eyes on.
For real.
And we will go ahead and move on to our shooting star, where we pick our baller of the week. Colton, who's yours this week?
Mine is staying in Atlanta. I told you I wasn't done glazing the Hawks yet. Nikhil Alexander Walker sets a new record with
Colin.
241 three-pointers this season. Uh, First of all, I thought Trey Young was like Steph Curry. What's this? Like
Yeah.
Nikhil in year one's doing this? Like it's a testament to how his game has definitely changed while he's on the Hawks. Really, I think we need to be getting talks of maybe a most improved player, perhaps for Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Walker, because he has definitely taken a leap this season, being the vet for this team. And I think he really can be a series changing player. He was for the Timberwolves from time to time. He was an X factor. I think he's just as much an X factor for this Hawks team when it gets down to it. So I want to give a shout out because that's impressive. That's a team that had Kyle Korver and Trey Young. So to set that record in year one there, definitely a W signing for the Hawks there. Paid off immediately.
I, I didn't even think about Kyle Korver. He was before his time, really playing before
Mm-hmm.
his time. But yeah, that's a really good one. Mine this week is Anthony Edwards, who returned from injury last week and in his first game back decided not to be a starter because he was in the bathroom. So shout out Ant. Do what you want when you want. It's your league, man. We're just living in it. Uh, I love players who take control like that and really set the
Mm-hmm.
tone for how the game should be played. So shout out Ant. Be a starter, don't be a starter. You're still probably the best player on most nights. So shout out Anthony Edwards this week. We're glad to see you back.
And Lamar Jackson cut from the same cloth.
So real, so real. That will do it though for this episode of the Restricted Area Podcast. Be sure to follow the show's YouTube at CX Restricted Area. Follow the CX crew on all socials at CX Pod Network. You can follow me on Twitter at The Wheel Deal and Colton at Colt_45. That's three T's, by the way. And until next week, like the waters in Cancun for these lottery teams soon, be smooth.